Do you see my sign? It's backwards, upside down. Perfect. What would you like to enter the studio with me? Good morning, good morning, good morning. If it's morning by you, it's morning by me. So, good morning. The sun is up over there. The moon is over there. And I'm kind of backwards all day long. So, welcome to Silly Sally walking backwards upside down. And she's going to do that. I'm going to show you the puppet I made when we start to tell the story. But for now, we are going to tell this story with your puppet. So here she comes. Oh, I'd like to show you how to make a puppet, if you don't mind. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Paper. Reach over here and get my supplies. I'll also show you that I already made a Silly Sally walking backwards upside down. Why I like to make it like this is because the character goes two different ways. So how cool that you can make that. And I am delighted to show you how. I'm going to put my Silly Sally up here, walking backwards upside down, while I quickly show you how to make a puppet with paper. So I'm going to mix this up a little bit. The first time I made it, this one, I made her wearing a purple dress. But today I'm going to fix that up a little bit, and because I can do that, you can do that because you are going to be puppeteers. So here's how it is. Here it is, right here. We're going to take a paper. We're going to roll it into a tube, one, and then we're going to do it again. 2, 3. Silly Sally. I'm going to say this over and over again, and you know why? Because I want you to be able to say it with me. So here is Silly Sally, right side up. We don't tell the story that way. We tell it upside down. So I'm going to mix my Silly Sally up a little bit by changing the color scheme. So initially I made her with I don't know what color that is. I'm just going to call it beige. But today's puppet that I'm making with you, for you, by you, is made, she's going to have a purple face. We don't know why. Maybe she loves grapes, Concord grapes, especially. And you know what I did that one? I just ripped the paper right up. So, and you can do that too. Again, any kind of puppet you make is good. You could even use a tube that is already made. Say from a roll of paper towel. And then you can put a face on that paper towel tube and make her upside down. Excuse me, ma'am, you're going to have to move back here. I can say ma'am because she is, in fact, Sally, a Sally. It could be, though, maybe a Millie. So this is what I do to make a face. Watch up here. This is how it goes. I am going to draw it on here just so you can see it. And then I'll cut out what I draw. I'm going to draw grape ice cream with a grape cherry on top. Yo, how cool is that? Got it? All right, here's the fold. We'll make it so much better if you don't cut where the fold is, but keep that fold together. Folded, speak. Then I want you to cut on the line you drew. If you don't feel like doing a line, perfectly fine. But I do that to show you. Half, whole. Aha, you knew that, right? You knew that this was going to be a face. Ears. Now, watch this finger here very carefully. This is the bottom of my nose. Goes all the way here. The bottom of your ears pretty much line up to the bottom of your nose. So then I want you to take this here and open it up. Notch and make this really capital T. It's the best way to describe it. Go all the way up to where the notch is. Why? Because then push these two together. And soon to be Silly Sally, that's even getting harder to say, soon to be Silly Sally is going to have a nose, 2 ears, and how cool. We're going to give her the rest of her face using markers. this Silly Sally here, this one here, she has stickers for eyes. But I think for this one here, just to mix it up a little bit, we're going to use markers. In her Silly Sally book by Audrey Wood, she has wide open eyes. She also has this really cool thing called eyebrows. There she is, Silly Sally. She has a mouth that makes her always happy. And truth told, we're not always happy. Sometimes we're serious. But in our story here, Silly Sally seems to be quite happy walking backwards upside down. So she always has this nice, happy face. See? Cool. I knew you would like that. So what do we do with that happy face? We put it on the top of our tube. Excellent job. We're going to take 2 more pieces of tape. And we're going to put Silly Sally right here. Just like that. Silly Sally went to town, walking backwards upside down. But our Silly Sally doesn't seem to have any silly hair. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to stick with our color scheme. If Silly Sally could be really silly, maybe she will have purple hair. Why not? Right? So we're going to, should make a lot of hair. Do you think so? Okay. I'll do what you say. I'm going to fold it here. And then I'm going to fold it again. This Silly Sally is going to be pretty silly. And then I'm going to make, whoa, it's hard to cut. But you know what? She should have a lot of hair. She is one happy girl. So here's what happens. We cut slots like this. Not slots, we actually just cut like a hula skirt. That's a good way to think about it. Or even best, a pom-pom. Yay for hair. And we're going to open it up. And our Silly Sally, lots of hair. So what do? We wrap her hair around her head, top of her body, like that. Oops, sorry, other Sally. So many Sillies here. She wants straight hair today. My Sally over here, one I made earlier to show you how it looks complete, she is, can't have hair in front of her face, although it wouldn't matter, right? Because if you're walking backwards upside down, you don't see where you're going anywhere. By the way, don't walk backwards upside down. I think it could be dangerous. Because in order to see where you're going, you got to walk forwards. That's a really good message for us today, right? Now we're going to put a little more tape here so our Silly Sally doesn't lose her lovely hair, which would be another story. Okay, here's Silly Sally. She's got a body. She's got hair and a face. She's got 2 ears on her face, right? And arms. While we're at it, we'll take the leftover arms here, fold it like that, and then we're going to do something pretty cool. We are going to make hands for Silly Sally. Walking backwards, upside down. Excellent, excellent. So, and then I'm going to cut these here. She has 2 arms. So, ladies and gentlemen, upside, right side. These are what happens. Take your arms. Oh, didn't do any stretch. Put them next to your sides. Palms flat. You look down now. What direction are your thumbs going into? That one. Thumbs up. Good job. Okay. So I want, when you attach the arms, I want you to have thumbs up on each side. Thumbs forward. Thumbs up. Thumbs forward. Tape. If you have brad fasteners, how cool. And then just put the arms, Sally, lay down. Put the arms right where they should be in your shoulder. Take that arm, fold it a tad bit. Excellent job. I can see what you're doing. She is. And we're going to make her lay down like that. All right. And one more time. On the other side. This one, I think I like you. I mean, I like you anyway, but I like the way you came out. You got a kind of a silly face. Makes it even funner to tell this story. Okay, here's my Silly Sally's right side up. Have you met? Sally? Sally? Should we Sally forth? Okay. Sally backwards? Excellent job. So it would be really fun to tell the story with my Silly Sallies like this, but more so like that. However, just because I love to do this, and I thank you in advance, because every time I create a new character, I thank you, because you are the ones that do it. Make my imagination soar. Silly Sally, right? Silly Sally walking backwards upside down. Do we read upside down? Well, actually, if I wanted to read you the book, I could put it upside down like that and it would be easy. But I want to show you the story through puppets. And in our story, we have Silly Sally walking backwards upside down. And then she meets, the very first character she meets is a pig. So if you were a poet like Audrey would, what would you rhyme with pig? What kind of dance would a pig do? Right, a jig. So we're going to know that Silly Sally walking backwards upside down meets a pig, and they dance a jig. That's character number one, the pig. Here he is. I made him pretty dirty. Now, after she meets the pig and dances the jig, she meets a dog. What does a dog do besides bark? Right, a dog plays leapfrog with Silly Sally because dog, leapfrog rhyme. And then she meets a loon. And what does a loon do? If you sing and you're a loon, you sing a tune. Excellent. Loon tune. That is a really good way to remember. And then she met a sheep. And she must have counted that sheep because she fell fast asleep, upside down, walking backwards into town. And now, what do? Can't walk and sleep at the same time, at least not Sally. So she needs to be woken up. And then we meet Nettie Buttercup. Maybe it's Ned. I'll have to look that up. I think she meets Nettie Buttercup. Yeah, that makes sense. And he wakes her up, but he doesn't wake her up right away. He wakes up all the characters by giving them a gentle tickle, just a gentle tickle. And then he wakes up Sally. And that's how we end our story, even before we begin. But now we have to get all of our characters lined up. You saw the pig. Next up is the dog who plays leapfrog, right? And then there is the loon, who sings a tune. Ooh. And then there is the sheep. Excellent work. All right. We got everybody here. I'm going to put the book down. I'll show it to you one more time. Okay. I think I'm going to drop somebody here. There's so many characters on my table. So remember these lines. I found the loon. You were hiding. Loon sings a tune. Sally. All right, I'm going to show you my secret. The very first time I did this story, here she is. Here is Sally. And she needed to walk backwards, upside down. It's really hard. And I didn't like the way it looked. It looked kind of awkward, don't you think? So I didn't want to look awkward for you, so I had to redo Sally. So what do I do to make her always upside down, but have the ability to turn right side up? I put something else inside the back of my puppet. I'm showing you all my secrets because they shouldn't be secrets. I'd like you to think about ways to solve problems as well. So this was a problem-solving, engineering piece of work for this puppeteer who puts her fingers in Sally's brand new feet. And she can wiggle her feet. See? Thank you. Thank you very much. I know you wanted to say that was just really awesome, Marilyn. So I appreciate that. We're all ready to tell our story. Here's your part. You can do it with your hand, but you have to put it upside down. Or maybe that's upside down. I don't know. You figure it out too. Silly Sally went to town. Here we go. Silly Sally went to town, walking backwards, upside down. On the way, she met a pig. They danced a jig. Silly Sally went to town, walking backwards, upside down. On the way, she met a dog, a silly dog. They played leapfrog. Silly Sally went to town, leaping backwards, upside down. And on the way, she met a loon who sang a tune. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, E. And on and on and on and on. Silly Sally went to town, singing backwards, upside down. And on the way, she met a sheep. And they fell fast asleep. Now, how is Silly Sally get to town? Sleeping backwards, upside down. Along came Nettie Buttercup, walking forwards, right side up. He tickled the dog, who awoke. He tickled the pig, who awoke. He tickled the loon, who sang a tune. He tickled the sheep, who woke up. He tickled Sally, who woke right up. She tickled Nettie Buttercup, and that's how Sally got to town, walking backwards, upside down. Can you take a bow when you're upside down? Nope. You have to be right side up to take a bow. So Sally, take a bow. What would you like? You want me to read the story upside down? Maybe I'll read it to Sally. What you think? And you can help out too. If you happen to have your puppet that you made or your hand, you could help me out. So, but we're going to do what I recommended to myself before. And then pardon me while I look down at my beautiful book by Audrey Wood. Sally, would you like to be right side up to be read too? No, you want to be upside. Of course, I should have figured that out. So let's read this one. It's a great book to read. Would you hold the book for me, Sally? Oh, thank you so much. Silly Sally went to town, walking backwards, upside down. And on the way she met a pig, a silly pig. They danced a jig. Silly Sally went to town, dancing backwards, upside down. On the way she met a dog, a silly dog. They played leapfrog. Silly Sally went to town, leaping backwards, upside down. On the way she met a loon, a silly loon. They sang a tune. Silly Sally went to town, singing backwards, upside down. And on the way she met a sheep, a silly sheep. They fell asleep. Excuse me. Now, how did Sally get to town, sleeping backwards, upside down? Along came Nettie Buttercup, walking forward, right side up. He tickled the pig, who danced a jig. He tickled the dog, who played leapfrog. He tickled the loon, who sang a tune. He tickled the sheep, who fell asleep. He tickled Sally, who woke right up. She tickled Nettie Buttercup. And that's how Sally got to town, walking backwards, upside down. I wish you a splendid day. Lots of right side ups. And thanks for coming. Make a puppet. Tell a story. And live how? Happily, but not upside down. And that, my friends, is the end. Silly Sally went to town, leaping backwards upside down.